DefunctTV, history of Legends of the Hidden Temple. My favorite show ever. I have to know. We have to know the history.
On April 22, 1993, the U.S. Congress announced its plans to increase the oversight of the Federal Communications Commission, the regulator of television programming. Many legislators were concerned that the agency was not doing enough to curtail violence seen by children on network TV. A year prior, in 1992, the American Psychological Association had released a report estimating that a child would witness 100,000 acts of violence and 8,000 murders on television by the age of 10. This led to an outcry from parents
I don't
and
think
citizens
that's right.
concerned about the consequences of such media, and many psychologists began speculating whether the children watching the violence would eventually replicate the behavior. This was bad news for the major American networks, but great news for Nickelodeon. Launching as Pinwheel in 1977 before being given its recognizable name in 1979, Nickelodeon was the first cable channel dedicated to children's programming.
Oh, wait, it used to be called Pinwheel? That's so interesting.
Struggled for the first years of its existence, but found its stride in the mid-80s by airing shows such as You Can't Do That on television and producing the first children's game show, Double Dare. Nickelodeon increased its production output.
I've never heard of those.
The network began producing the majority of its shows in a newly built studio within the soon-to-open Universal Studios Florida Park. By 1993, Nickelodeon was the most popular children's television network, with game shows accounting for a large portion of the channel's productions. After concerns were raised over the amount of violence on television, more parents began to migrate their kids to Nickelodeon and other children's networks, and more advertisers were beginning to realize how lucrative a pool of highly suggestible grade schoolers was. This perfect storm resulted in the golden era of children's programming, and on September 11, 1993, Nickelodeon would begin airing what would become the most memorable game show that they would produce.
Oh, really? Is this considered one of the top game shows? Oh, that makes me so happy. I didn't think it was. I don't know what else it would have been, but I'm so glad my favorite is renowned.
Legends of the Hidden
Temple.
Legends of the Hidden Temple was described as a combination of Indiana Jones and Jeopardy, with some American Gladiators influence as well. The show is advertised as the first game show that lets kids live out legendary adventures. Selena Goober, a children's marketing expert, predicted the show's success based off of the premise alone. Kids love game shows. They love anything related to testing their own abilities. They love to see kids winning prizes. They love to see kids their own age interact with other kids. And obviously, they love to have fun. So if this show has all of the ingredients, it will be successful. Legends of the Hidden Temple was produced by Stone Stanley Productions. The show was hosted by a then unknown actor named Kirk Fogg and a talking stone head named Olmec, voiced and puppeteered by D. Bradley Baker, a voice actor with a long resume of animated shows. The game was separated into 4 parts, with 6 teams of 2 competing for the grand prize. The team names stayed the same for each episode. These were the Red Jaguars, the Blue Barracudas, the Green Monkeys, the Orange Iguanas, the Purple Parrots, and the Silver Snakes. Each team comprised of 1 boy and 1 girl between the ages of 11 and 15. After the intro, Olmec would introduce Kirk, who would then quickly explain the premise of the show before asking Olmec what today's legend was. Each show had a different story that would serve as the episode's title and theme. It would also be used throughout the different levels of gameplay. During the intro, Olmec would give the title of the tale to come. This included the name of a historical or fictional figure and an object of some kind. Some of these were classic tales, while others were a bit more obscure.
The Legend of the Royal Torque of Queen Boadicea, the mystical spellbook of the Imperial Wizard. Your quest is to find the walking stick of Harriet Tubman and bring it back here.
The first challenge was
Wait, what? I don't remember that. The walking stick of Harriet Tubman? Okay. I forgot about that till now, but I do remember that. There was always a thing, a special thing that they had to go do.
Moat. Each team was tasked with crossing a small pool by a specific means. This could require swinging on a rope, using a raft, crossing a bridge.
They always had that at the beginning. I think that was always the first thing they did, was they always had to swing across like a gap. I'm pretty sure. Or at least they use that a majority of the time as like the first test or whatever. So good. It's a mystical American artifact. Oh, I guess it is. It'd be funny if they had like, you must find the cannibalistic crab that ate Amelia Earhart. That'd be a fun episode. And then they have to slap some crabs away so they can get to Amelia Earhart's like skull. That'd be awesome. That'd be a good premise for an episode.
Whatever else the production team could come up with. Each team would typically have their own wrangler on the other side of the moat, making sure that they were navigating the challenge safely and fairly. This often resulted in the kids having to go back into the water to start over.
Oh no!
Once both teams were across, they could then press their button and ring their gong. The first 4 teams to do this successfully moved on to the next round, while the other 2 teams were eliminated and sent home with a consolation prize.
Didn't make it, but you're not going to go away empty-handed. Here's what we've got for you.
Get the hottest looks with LA Looks. For soft, curly styles, use LA Looks Frizz Control Gel.
What?
A savings bond from Hershey.
That sucks. I mean, at least they get something. That's a crazy basic ass prize though. That's really funny. Here kids, would you like some Hershey's chocolate syrup? Yummy. And hair shampoo or hair gel or whatever that was. George Washington's teeth. Oh, that'd be a good episode. You have to find the gun that was used in Lincoln's assassination. Oh, that would also be a really good one. Guys, come on. We can do this. We can bring this show back. And we can write the episodes ourselves. And it would be killer. It would be awesome.
Chocolate milk mix.
Today, people are packing light, refreshing StarKist tuna in pita salads and subs. StarKist, a taste for the time.
Oh my
Surely
god.
not.
The next round
Tuna
was the
as
steps
a
of knowledge.
consolation
Here,
prize?
Olmec would tell the episode's legend, with the kids listening carefully to the story. Once he was done, they would be quizzed over the information they were just given. The answers were multiple choice, and the teams rang in by pressing their foot on a stone on their step. They were not required to wait until all of the options were read, which could lead to some pretty awkward moments.
Which of these people fought the Trojans in the Trojan War? The Romans?
Silver snakes.
Paris.
Incorrect.
If a team
Idiot.
answered a question correctly, they would move down to the next step. If they didn't, the other teams were given an opportunity to
That
answer,
sucks.
and there was no punishment for guessing wrong. The first 2 teams to answer 3 questions correctly moved on to the next round, while the other 2 were eliminated and awarded with slightly more exciting consolation prizes.
NBA Jam for Genesis. Super NES and Game Gear is now here with 54 of the hottest NBA stars and incredible skywalking slam
What?
dunks.
Hush puppies, the most comfortable shoes.
A
in the-
basset hound! Oh, it's so cute. Okay, these are much better prizes.
World.
Look at the entertaining fun you'll have.
Okay, never mind. I take it back. Moon shoes. Okay, these were the shit when I was a kid, but I never had them, but I had a friend who had moon shoes, and I tried them once, and as soon as I tried them, I was like, this sucks. I'm gonna break my ankle if I like move in these. And so at that point, I was like, okay, moon shoes are like stupid as hell.
Than ever.
After a commercial break, the show would come back to Kirk and the remaining 2 teams. Before the next round of challenges, Kirk would interview the 4 players, typically asking their name, age, and sometimes a fun fact about themselves.
A fun
This was the
fact.
peak of the show's awkwardness.
And I heard you like to dance.
Yes. Well, I take jazz, tap, and ballet.
Oh, really? Would you like to tap for us right now?
No, thank you.
A pitcher? For what team?
I don't blame her. I wouldn't tap dance on national TV either. The fuck? No, thank you.
Yankees?
Really? Not the New York Yankees?
No.
No, okay, not yet.
I sing in my school chorus, and I also went to all-state chorus this past spring.
Right. And what do you
Nice.
like to sing?
Madonna.
In
Hell yeah.
chorus?
No.
All right.
The temple
No. Dude, props to these kids for not getting pressured though. Dude, I would fold under the pressure at that age. I absolutely would have folded, and then I would have embarrassed myself on national TV. So it's probably best that I didn't go on this show. Oh, I would have embarrassed myself so badly.
games were a series of 3 one-minute challenges
No.
in which the teams would compete for the pendants of life. These were typically a test of speed, agility, and/or prepubescent upper body strength. They were all themed after the show's
Prepubescent.
legend, and the type of challenge varied.
The tough part about this game is getting up.
Oh, that would be so fun.
Whoa, green monkey.
Oh, it's like a hamster maze.
Good as that run, but he's had to fall.
The first 2 games
Oh.
were each worth 1/2 pendant,
That was close.
with the final game being worth 1 pendant. The team with the most pendants at the end of the 3 games moved on, while the other would be eliminated and rewarded a consolation prize. If the teams tied, both earning 1 full pendant, a final multiple choice question over the episode's legend would serve as a tiebreaker. After another
Oh.
commercial break, the team deemed worthy of entering the temple was introduced to the final round, the Temple Run. This was an extremely difficult
Temple
maze of
Run!
rooms, filled with physical obstacles.
Wait, this was Temple Run before Temple Run.
Puzzles, and traps. Before this final round would begin, Olmec would explain the various parts of the maze to the kids in the simplest way possible.
You could start by climbing through the ledges and climbing down into the pit of despair. Race
Despair!
into the laser light room. Unleash the power of the special white laser, and you could choose to go up to Medusa's lair or into the Jester's court. Turn the
Oh, that's my stream!
wheel to lift the stone slab.
That's just
then
my
race
stream.
into the throne room. Sit on the throne of the pretender, and you could choose to go up into the room of fallen columns.
Oh, God.
Into the
What is happening?
of the Python. Into the mine shaft. If you escape, you might race down
Are
the
we
stairs
dissociating?
and back to the temple gate. The choices are yours, and yours alone.
The team decides which player will start the run. The first player to enter is given 1 full pendant, and the second is given any of the remaining pendants won during the temple games. These were used if, and more likely when, a player would encounter a temple guard, a grown adult dressed in costume and wearing a mask, hiding in various rooms in the temple in preparation for the child to arrive. There were 3 throughout the temple,
That's
and if a player
horrifying.
encountered one, they would have to give up their pendant. If the player was caught a second time, they would be escorted out of the temple by the guard, and their teammate would begin their run. The second player would have either 0, 1/2, or 1 full pendant depending on their team's performance in the temple games. If they had 1/2, the second part would be hidden in the temple, and the player would need to find it on their way to the artifact in case they encountered a guard, as only a full pendant would allow them to continue. In a scenario where the second player was caught with 0 or 1/2 pendant, the team would lose and the game would end. The guards terrified some kids, and many cried after encountering them.
I remember the guards now. They scared me as a kid. Yeah, because they were like intense. But it's so good.
Apart from the temple,
It's so immersive. You think you're actually gonna die. It's awesome. Yeah, this maze was the best part as a kid. This was like, this is the part where I don't know if I'd be able to do it. Like that, I think the ending would definitely be the hardest part for me. I think, you know, that's the whole reason, is the ending, right? Because it's the hardest.
temple guards. The team only had 3 minutes to find the artifact and make it out through the temple gates. Each room had a fairly simple task necessary to open the door, but to make it even more difficult, some of the doors were permanently locked, causing some paths through the temple to result in dead ends. During the show's run, there were 15 different temple layouts and nearly 50 different rooms. Examples of these rooms were the observatory, in which the player would turn a sundial in order to open a door, the wall climb, in which the player would have to use ropes to climb a wall and hit a button to open a door, where players could take an elevator up, break through a rock wall, or find a button, and the infamous
That's so
Shrine of the
cool.
Silver Monkey. This room made its way into every temple
I
layout.
remember that! The Shrine of the Silver Monkey! I remember that!
Out. And despite the puzzle only being 3 pieces and never changing over the show's run, the kids had an incredibly difficult time putting it together.
Really?
He's got the base on.
Oh, because it's just confusing.
Now he's got the head.
Oh, I
He's
see.
on, but he's got to get the base on.
Oh my god.
Having a little problem with the monkey.
After grabbing the artifact, all of the doors to the temple unlocked and the guards disappeared. The only thing left for the
Oh.
contestant to do was run out of the temple as fast as they could in an attempt to beat the clock. If they were successful,
Oh,
they won the
nice.
grand prize, which included a few small prizes and a vacation.
Whoa! Wait, hold on. Let's go over the prizes. Hold
If they
on.
were successful, they won the grand prize,
Okay.
which included
Oh my god, a Walkman? A Walkman. A Walkman? I thought it was, well, I guess they get multiple prizes. A Walkman's not bad. That's pretty sick, actually. Yeah, it is awesome when you think you're gonna die, but like you're not actually in danger. Yeah, the adrenaline. The adrenaline of fearing for your life is awesome. Yeah, the temple run was the most memorable part of this. You know what? We should watch an actual episode of this. Oh, I miss the show so much. And then we can like dunk on those kids and talk about how much better we would do, even though we're all like, we have our bones creaking and stuff. And, you know, we probably would fail in like the first round, but we can pretend. Yeah, and we can cheer for our favorite teams. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god, we should do that. Yeah, we can be a little toxic. Yeah, exactly.
a few small prizes and a vacation.
Oh, okay. It was like a backpack set and a vacation to resort. Okay. That's not bad. That's, you know, very nice. This would be very nice.
If they were unsuccessful, they won a lesser but decent prize.
You're not gonna go away empty-handed. You're gonna get the set of microscopes for playing. You guys did a great. We
A
gotta
set
go
of
see next time.
microscopes? Wait, that's a sick prize. Microscopes are expensive. They're very expensive.
For another
as 14-year-olds were 15 by the time of filming. After being selected and giving a filming date, the children would arrive to the Universal Studios backlot. The kids were separated from their parents, both taken to their own waiting rooms. The parents would remain in this room equipped with monitors so that they could watch their child compete, but removed from the main studio space as to not influence or distract their contestant. The kids were given their team t-shirt and a pair of sneakers, both of which they would keep at the end of the day. The waiting room for the contestants was filled with video games and toys to keep the kids occupied, as there was typically 4.
That's actually a huge flex. Like, being able to have a Legends of the Hidden Temple shirt from your team? Dude, that's actually the coolest fucking thing ever.
5 episodes shot simultaneously. Each episode's teams would complete each challenge before the crew would move on to the next round and set piece. For example, if a contestant were in the first episode to be shot on the day of filming, they would first cross the moat, then return to the holding room and wait for the other 4 episodes to shoot their moat scene. They would then return to the studio and shoot the Steps of Knowledge, and then go back to the holding room to wait for the other 4 episodes to shoot their Steps of Knowledge.
Oh, really? Oh, that kind of sucks. That, like, takes you out of it. Oh, I feel like that makes you perform worse if, like, you only do one section at a time. That sucks. I would have rather just done it all in one go.
And so on and so on. This would result in 1 or 2 hours between rounds for each group, which is why the contestants appeared to dry instantly between the moat and the Steps of Knowledge. The first day of filming for season 1 was done with little preparation, resulting in a 12-hour shoot. The moat section was typically edited down to a few minutes in post, but it often took between 5 and 10 minutes to shoot. And on very rare occasions, it took the kids half an hour to fully cross. The moat was also filled with warm water and not very deep. Olmec's story relating to the artifact would be told to the contestants backstage prior to the shooting of the Steps of Knowledge. This was to increase their chances of answering the questions correctly. The teams that made it to the end would also be given a tour of the temple run, with explanations of each room and the ways in which to unlock it. The temple run was made purposefully difficult, and only 26.7% of teams that attempted it succeeded. This was supposedly due to the limited amount of grand prizes that the studio and sponsors were willing to give out. Thanks to highly detailed fan sites, many statistics about the teams and their performances have been calculated. Notable findings are that the Orange Iguanas were the team that made it to the temple run the most, appearing 25 times out of the show's 120 episodes. The Purple Parrots appeared the least, only making it to the temple 11 times. The team also had the least amount of successful temple runs,
Okay, remember these stats for when we watch an episode. He's kind of giving it away, but still.
Completing 3 during the entirety of the show. While the Orange Iguanas made it to the temple run the most, they were the second worst at completing it, only making it through with the artifact 4 of the 25 attempts. The Green Monkeys and the Silver Snakes were tied for the most successful temple runs, both having completed the course 8 times. The first season of the show was shot in around 10 days, with a total of 40 episodes being produced. 1 or more episodes would air.
40 episodes in 10 days? That's insane! Damn! Yeah, I guess that makes sense because the set is so intense to produce. But man. Because also, I thought it would be even harder if they do batch filming like that because they change the set between the different episodes. They like change the set. So I would have thought that would have been harder to like film different teams all at the same time. I don't know. I mean, I guess it worked out for them.
Per week in around 10 days, both having completed the course 8 times. The first season of the show was shot in around 10 days, with a total of 40 episodes being produced.
Yeah, they filmed 40 episodes in 10 days. Man, child labor laws, am I right? Oh, that's true. Multiple episodes would have the same exact audience. I guess so. That's an interesting point. I wonder if you can tell which episodes are filmed if you look at the audience, like filmed together, when you look at the audience.
1 or more episodes would air per week throughout the remainder of 1993 and until May of 1994. A second season was quickly ordered and produced while season 1 was airing, and the first episode of season 2 would premiere just days after the final episode of season 1. Likewise,
they don't make them like they used to anymore.
Season 3 would begin airing days after the end of Season 2. As there were many different versions of the temple run, the more significant changes, such as entire rooms being swapped out, would occur between seasons. Also, slight format changes would occur from season to season, such as what would be introduced by Kirk and what would be introduced by Olmec. The third season would be the show's last, with the final episode airing on June 27th, 1995. Legends of the Hidden Temple was a hugely popular show, and many were surprised by its cancellation, or more accurately, its non-renewal. The show produced a total of 120 episodes, so Nickelodeon had plenty of material to air.
Wow.
The non-renewal was reportedly due to indifference from executives, and the channel's standard practice at the time of only producing shows for a few seasons, regardless of their popularity. Legends would continue to air in reruns on Nickelodeon until early 1999, when it would move to Nickelodeon's new sister channel, Nick Gas, short for Nickelodeon Games and Sports for Kids. Legends, along with other Nickelodeon game shows, would air exclusively on this channel until it shut down on December 31st, 2007. However, since the channel had been fully automated in its later years, a glitch caused Dish Network subscribers to be able to view the channel and its programming until April 23rd, 2009. Legends would also air during Nickelodeon's Nick at Night programming block, typically early in the morning.
I must have watched it on the Nickelodeon Gas channel though. I don't remember I don't remember this channel. I thought it was just Nickelodeon. I guess I never paid attention as a kid, but I must have watched it on here because that's around the time I was watching this on the TV. Yeah, that sounds right.
The show disappeared from television after 2009, but quickly reappeared in October of 2011, with reruns of Legends of the Hidden Temple airing on Nickelodeon's sister network Teen Nick, as part of its The 90s Are All That throwback programming block. Reruns continued to air irregularly
Did I watch
on the
it on
channel.
here?
Over 20 years after it was canceled, a television film based on Legends of the Hidden Temple was produced for Nickelodeon. The show. The film told the story of 3 kids traveling to a hidden temple theme park, eventually getting trapped inside a real temple and swept into an adventure.
Oh my
Both
God.
Kurt Fogg and D. Bradley Baker returned, with Fogg playing a fictional version of himself and Baker reprising Olmec. The film has many references to its game show source material, such as the Steps of Knowledge, Temple Guards, the Pendants of Life, the Shrine of the Silver Monkey, the team names appearing in many forms, and much more. The film premiered on Nickelodeon on November 26, 2016.
Was it good?
Legends of the Hidden Temple was peak 90s Nickelodeon. It was a game show played by kids, watched by kids, and appeared as though it was created by kids. The Indiana Jones-esque theming, large
Oh my God,
set
that's so
pieces,
cool.
and complicated obstacles felt like something a child would imagine, which was exactly the kind of content that Nickelodeon was hoping to produce. Thanks to the show's elaborate theming and deep lore, Legends had the biggest fan base of any game show on the channel, and the community is still alive and well. While it is hard to say goodbye to a beloved show, let alone an entire era of television, it can't be as difficult as the Shrine of the Silver Monkey. Come on, no, just, it goes on. It's not how, nope, other way. Okay, nope.
It looks so easy though. I feel like it shouldn't be that hard. Oh my God, Olmec's behind me. Oh, that was such a good throwback. That was awesome. Oh man, I loved that throwback to the best show ever. Dude, if there's some way I could set up a Legends of the Hidden Temple, like, for myself, that'd be so cool. Hi, thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, please don't forget to give a like to the video and subscribe to my channel. I also stream live on Twitch, so follow me on Twitch and turn on notifications to know when I go live. I hope to see you there.